Hello and welcome, dear viewer, to my channel. Today in our video, I will tell you what stories people have sent me in the mail. My 22M ex-girlfriend, 21F, keeps sending mixed signals and lying, not sure how to handle it. So a few months ago, I ended things with my girlfriend of 10 months. On our first date, she told me that she didn't feel any romantic feelings for me, but over time we started getting closer, and she started flirting with me more, until a few months later, I asked her to be my girlfriend. We dated from February to December 2022, but things changed when she went on a month-long trip to Korea. I felt like she didn't want to be in a relationship anymore, and I messaged her to confront her about it. She told me that she still loved me, but she didn't feel any romantic feelings towards me, so we broke up. I told her I needed space to try to move on, but she wanted to stay friends. I was worried about staying friends because I felt as though I would only be around until some other guy eventually swoops her off her feet, but she assured me that she wasn't planning on dating anyone for a while, and so we stayed friends. When she got back from her trip, we set some boundaries, but there was still some physical stuff happening, like hugs and hand-holding, and she was still flirty with me. One day we were talking about her trip and the nightlife in Korea. I asked her if she danced with anyone in the club in Korea, and she kept denying it. I went through her phone one day, which was very wrong of me. I shouldn't have invaded her privacy like that. And I found a video of her at a club dancing with another guy on the same day we broke up. We kept being friends, but things got weird when she lied about dancing with someone at the club a second time after she got back from her trip. I found out she was lying because my sister saw her and told me that she was dancing with someone in an explicit way. But I decided to let it go because we're no longer in a relationship, and it's not my place to tell her that it makes me uncomfortable. A few weeks later, she went to the club again and started talking to me a lot less afterwards. I was going through a rough time, for separate reasons that weren't related to her, and I told her I needed to talk to someone. We meet up and I tell her about everything that's been going on, and while she was supportive and heard me out, she told me that we should hang out less and talk less because she didn't want to feel like she was responsible for my feelings, even though my situation had nothing to do with her. It was a little out of nowhere, so we talk about her feelings, and she said that she feels guilty when she tries to move on from our relationship. She also admitted that she was avoiding me because she felt guilty that a guy gave her his number at the club, and they had been messaging, but she said it wasn't serious, and she had no plans to date him. We agreed to hang out a little less, but to continue talking to each other and messaging each other like normal. The next day we're texting, and she stops answering out of the blue. I don't really think much of it and let her be, deciding she probably needed space or something. Later that night, I get a notification that she stopped sharing her location with me, which was weird because we never talked about it or mentioned it. I open the location sharing app, and her last known location was at a random house. I asked her about it the next day because I thought she was mad at me, but she lied and said that she turned her location off for everyone. I asked her if she was at a random house, and she eventually admits it, saying that the house belonged to the guy who gave her his number at the club. She said nothing happened between them, and that her friend was there too, but she wouldn't say what they were doing and was very defensive. I'm upset about the way she lied to me, and I'm feeling jealous and hurt about the other guy. I know that since we're not dating, it's not my place for me to be upset that she's talking to someone else, but I feel like she doesn't care about my feelings and is being reckless with them. What do you think? Is 27M and 23F too big of an age gap? Just wanted to get people's thoughts on this. My GF and I have what I would consider a very healthy relationship. One of my friends has taken digs at me since he found out she was born in the year 2000. Another of my friends asked whether the age gap was an issue for us. To me, it has never even entered into the equation, but these comments got me wondering. I guess when I hang out with her and her friends, they do see me as the old guy, and I do feel a bit older when I'm in a group with them, but just one-on-one with my GF things feel totally fine. My girlfriend 21F was engaged to her ex who cheated on her a year ago. They are still very good friends. She cares about him, and he is still very close to here. I am 23M and am uncomfortable with it. We are together for 6 months. As the title says, this is our current situation. I am not worried they might end up together, as I have never met a girl which would be so dedicated to a person she is currently with. I am not even sure if I love her as much as she does me. She is on good terms with both of her 2 exes and are friends. Her birthday is coming up shortly, and she wants to do a party, and wants to invite her last ex who she's had been engaged with. She doesn't see a problem in that he cheated on her, and that's why she broke up with him. She says they talked it through and now are good friends and close to each other in that regard as they know each since they were teens. They were together for 3 years. For me, it is quite uncomfortable being around someone who is almost her husband. All I can see is someone who kissed her had intimacy with her, were with her, planned life together with. Thought of him being near me makes me sick because that is all I am thinking about when I see him. Again, I am not worried they may get back together as that bridge is already burned to ashes. But just the idea they've been together and done stuff together makes me sick. I know very well I cannot change their past as I can't change my past. I don't want to bring my ex to party and be keen on her showing up. Just to show, hey, this the bitch I fucked before her. Am I just overreacting about her ex? Or am too, I don't know, materialistic or what? That I should move on and not think about that stuff? I don't know. It makes me sick and I feel like throwing up. Are you still friends with your exes and are they part of your life? How do you cope with it if your partner is still friends with theirs ex? I, 24F, have a hard time communicating my emotions to my best friend, 20F. This is going to be a long post. For some quick background before I start, my best friend is my coworker, different shifts, and also my roommate. We've been best friends for nearly a year. Earlier today, one of our coworkers and mutual friends stopped by. This was about 2 hours before my best friend was getting off work. We sat on the couch and talked about some of our common interests we didn't realize we had shared previously, and eventually, she came home. They had plans to hang out, but nothing concrete. The exact things they were doing ended up being developed while we were all together. I asked if I could go too, since I never joined my friend with our coworkers, and was hoping to try to make an additional friend so I don't feel so awkward when she comes over. I have a lot of social anxiety, so making new friends is difficult for me. My best friend seemed a little surprised I asked to go, and she said in response, "Okay, yeah, but how about X and I go to pick up this thing, and then we'll come back and pick you up?" IDKY, but at this point it felt like she didn't really want me to go. I chalked it up to me just being anxious and agreed to wait for them to return. IDK, the exact amount of time passed, but I ended up waiting on that couch for about 2 hours before I accepted they weren't coming back. I was really sad at this point and kept obsessively checking my texts in case I had missed them letting me know their plans had changed. I didn't want to text or call first, even though I was tempted, since I didn't want to come off as clingy or insecure. Feeling quite hurt, I ended up just laying in my room, in the dark, just being sad and angry. My best friend sent me a text about nearly 5 hours after they had left, saying they took a detour somewhere, got lost, and would be heading back soon. The city where we live is very hard to get lost in. Phone maps are very easily usable and accessible. At the end of this text, she said she hopes I still want to hang out and that she's bringing me a sundae. I could already feel my frustration start to dissipate, but it just felt like she did this in anticipation of me being upset. I sent her a text a moment ago explaining that it sucked and really hurt that the one time I asked to join her when she's hanging out with one of our coworkers, she just forgets about me and doesn't even think to let me know that their plans changed and they won't be coming back anytime soon. I told her that next time if she wants to hang out with them alone, to just let me know, but I can't help but feel like my feelings are invalid or wrong. TLDR. I feel like my best friend intentionally left me out after I asked to join her hanging out with our coworker/mutual friend. IDK, how to properly articulate this without feeling like I'm wrong in some way. Any advice? Write in the comments what you think about these stories. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like it. Also put a bell so you don't miss new videos. See you soon.